Good morning, everyone. This is Robert People of RobertPeople.com, and thanks for listening. I'm doing this live in the morning, so you may be hearing this, or maybe listening to us at any other time in the day. So if you're not listening to it this morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening. Hope all is well with you. I'm going to start this one with 2 words, and this should be very simple for a lot of you. God decides. God decides. We get to a point, we as Christians at least, we get to a point where we think we have control of so much. And the truth of the matter is, God decides. I'm not here to debate or discuss my faith with anybody. I'm sorry. Discussing, yes. Debating, no. No, if you're here to troll and tell me all the reasons God isn't real, I'm not the one to do that with. Take it elsewhere. Or you can go ahead and stay here and I will pray for you. Okay, but this isn't a debate faith. So if you don't believe, just go ahead and carry on with the rest of your day. However, when it comes to, there are a lot of people out there. There are a lot of people, again, who feel like they're in control, but at the same time, things are going on in your life, right? So much is going on in your life. And sometimes you get to that point where you feel you just had enough. You've had enough, even if it's not as bad as having enough, you still feel like you're just at such a place where if anything was to happen to you, you were to die or what have you, you'd be okay with it. Not so much okay with it. I guess you've come to terms with it, all depending on your circumstance. Let me tell you, let me explain it like this. I've heard smokers often say, when someone lets them know, someone tells them, well, you know what, you shouldn't smoke because that's going to take years off your life. I've heard smokers say things like, well, I'm going to die of something anyway, right? Gotta die of something, so what? That's what my response is. So what? How does you gotta die of something justify smoking if that's supposedly not what you want to do? I had one person even even say to me, well, they were told smoking takes so many years off their life, right? So they said, well, you know what? That means this is better than doing this here, or having years taken off his life is better than being in a hospital bed and suffering. These are a couple of the ways, at least, okay? And some might come to me as I'm talking right now, but these are a couple of the ways that we think we're in control of everything, even our own demise. And some people are. Some people do go down that path, and that's very likely where it ends up. So to a degree, yeah, some people do have control of it. It's not in a good way, but some do. But I'm talking about just simply those who feel that they know when their demise is going to be. And this is really a sad state we're in when that's the mindset. God is the one who decides when he's finished with us, when we've carried out what he's wanted us to do. He's the one who decides that. God didn't put any of us here on earth to have the mindset of I'm going to die anyway. Are we all going to? Yeah, someday all of us will. But why put us here in the first place? See, we all have a purpose here. All of us do. Even if you're listening and you don't believe, you got a purpose too. Whatever it is, that's for you to find out. So everything God has laid out for us, in his mind, is already done. See, our life is Think about that movie that you watch, that you know of, that you watch with someone else. Now, you've already seen this movie, but that person hasn't. God's the one who has seen the movie of our lives. We're the ones who have not. God already knows how it's going to turn out. And on top of it, and even better is that, we watch the movie. We're not the ones who are in control of it. God was in control of everything. God is in control of everything, but He's in control of where your life is going. But the sad part on top of all this is that a lot of us get to thinking that our past is our present. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I said that right. Or you can say our present is our past. Where we are now, we think about our past, and we get to and we fool ourselves into believing. We let the devil tell us that our past is our present. Where we were is where we are right now. If you were in a bad place, and anything in your life currently reminds you of that bad state you were in, or you have a hard time not getting, unstuck from something, or that you can't get away from this or that, the devil tells you that's where you're going to be. This is where you are. This is your present. Along with that, if you are in a circumstance right now, today, you're going through something, you're struggling with your finances, you're dealing with disorders, you're dealing with illnesses, you're fighting weight problems, you're suffering relationship issues. And everything seems like everything's just coming down on you and just beating you up and just consuming you. The devil likes to tell us that one too. Well, that's your future. Your past is your present, and your present is your future. Sometimes they all go right together. But you could have been okay, not okay today, and the devil tells you, well, this is where you're going to end up. This is your future. And we decide things based on current circumstances. But every one of us, well, maybe all of us haven't heard the stories, but I can tell you right now, there's nothing that any of you are going through right now. There's nothing any of you are going through that someone out there doesn't have a testimony on how they made it through it. That's what we got to. That's what you have to keep in mind. We all have to keep that in mind. People are told every day, you got cancer, you got 3 months to live, and they end up living 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I thought I heard one survived 10 years after they were given an initial diagnosis of a few months. God decides. Don't look at your circumstances, your current circumstances, and say, and then immediately connect those to death. Don't worry about your age, your circumstances, but your physical health. Don't worry about what you've done in your past. People love to throw that one out there too. Oh, karma's coming back on me. Please. You're still here for a reason. If karma was meant to get you, I don't believe in karma at all. I don't think there's any such thing as it. Karma is just that one thing that allows us to connect dots or tie what's going on bad right now with something that happened bad in the past. Karma doesn't mean anything to me. Because if you did something wrong, guess what? If you were meant to suffer for that thing, you would have went on and suffered for it now. I'm sorry, you would have suffered back then. If that was meant to destroy you, it would have destroyed you. And the thing is, it didn't. You know why? Because God decides when you are done. If you're in a bad place in life right now, don't go to saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to die anyway. Right? Do you seriously think God's the one telling you that? God's not the one saying, you know what, you're this is where you are. So, hey, ready to come home? No. God's the one who decides when he's finished with you here on earth. See, you may be a testimony to someone else, and this is what you need to wake up this morning. And if you get up and you're listening to this, this is what you have to be thinking about. But then again, you know what's interesting is that we have so many people, and today's not Monday, but we have so many people. That just reminded me, I didn't say the date. Today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2019. I didn't say that in the beginning of this. But so many people wake up and the minds go straight to everything you don't like, everything that upsets you, everything that you're mad at. How horribly your day is going to go. How angry you are that your alarm clock went off. How little you can function until you get some coffee. Yeah, that's another one that kind of that perturbs me a little bit. All this. Now, while you're stuck on all these things that still allowed you to get up out of bed this morning, you were able to get up. God helped you. God got you out of bed. He allowed your feet to hit the floor. He gave you the ability to hear your alarm clock go off. He allowed you to go into the bathroom, to shower, to brush your teeth. You go downstairs, you go into your kitchen. There's food in there for you to have, right? All this. Now we take for granted because that's always been there. But guess what? Everybody else doesn't have that. Everybody else doesn't have that luxury of just all the stuff you described. That you have in your house. Okay, all the things that you're able to do. Okay, y'all get what I'm saying? All the stuff you're able to do. Everybody doesn't have that. Everybody's not going to get out of bed this morning. Everybody's feet is not going to hit the floor. People are suffering. Really suffering. Suffering to the point that just like this whole message is about, they're suffering to the point that they feel they would be better off not here anymore. And your problem is what? Oh, I got to get up. And yeah, of course, you got to run the social media because we got, some of us got to do everything on there, right? So I might read this and say something now because it's like, oh yeah, Robert's mad. Robert's not mad at anything like that. Robert don't get mad at that kind of stuff. I'm speaking the truth though. And you're complaining about what? It doesn't happen on a Wednesday. It usually happens on Monday. People talk about hating Monday so much. What has Monday done to you? Monday's always been here. Long before you showed up, Monday was here. And you're upset. And we go to social media and we love it. We're gonna say everything curse Monday up and down. Get our couple likes and having people, yeah, girl, or yeah, brother, whatever the case is, right? Instead of being thankful that God said he's not done with us yet. God decided he wasn't finished. God didn't put you here to get to a certain point in your life and say, well, you know what? I'm going to die anyway. So, if I'm meant to die or whatever the case is, that's not why you're here. The devil's the one who wants you to feel that, you know what, you're as good as you're ever going to be. And where you are right now is where you're always going to end up. Don't care about some doctor diagnosis. some cancer that you have, some illness, some disorder, some aspect of your life that you can change. Nope, I don't care about any of that stuff. God doesn't either, because God's putting that in your life for a reason. And of course, we're going to think, oh, it's meant to make us suffer. No, the devil wants us to think that. I'm better off dead. The devil wants you to think that. God can't possibly love me if I'm going through this. The devil wants you to think that. God puts a lot of power within our control, but there's a lot that we have not one piece of control over. So if you're in a bad place right now, if you're going through anything, whether it be, as I've said before, some type of illness, a disorder of some kind, you have cancer, you're fighting weight problems, you're fighting addiction. Okay, I didn't even mention addiction in this whole episode. I haven't even talked about addiction, but you're fighting that too. If that's something you're going through, that does not have to be your future. It might be your present, but nobody says it's your future. The devil might tell you it's your future, but the only person who really decides is God. God decides whether that's your future or not. And there's more evidence that that's not your future than the fact that it is. God decides. There are people walking around here. My wife said a great example of this. When we started watching Walking Dead, there's a lot of us that just walk around, and that's what we look like all the time. Just following trends, just following what's trendy. You know, she's from New York, so my wife's from New York, so she gets to see every day. And New York's not the only place it happens, but it's very likely where it's seen. It's the most prominent, where people are just going along and chasing after whatever it is, like robots almost. Stressful days, busy days, walking from, one building to another. I mean, we're at work, they're going to get their coffee, they're doing whatever it is, but everybody's just going. It feels like The Walking Dead. And even if you can't understand that, just go to YouTube and pull up New York population of New York during the workday or something like that. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But that's what we do. And I hope y'all getting this. Okay, I kind of jumped around some, but I'm hoping y'all understand this, because we can't let our present circumstances dictate our future. And that's what all this is about. Our present cannot determine our future. Our present is not our future. So if you're listening to this in the morning, if you're listening to this morning, hope you have a good day. You have a good day. If you're listening to it later, hope you had a good day. But at whatever time you are listening to this, if you're going through anything right now, if you're not in the best place, if you're not in a good place, that is not your future. That is not your future. The devil tells you that. But he's not the one who decides. You're not the one who decides that's your future. God decides. This is Robert, people. Thank you for listening. You all take care.